Right, what I'm going to show you now is a wireless tool light setter. This being a wireless tool light setter. It is an add-on, but pretty much every machine that goes out the door has one of these on it. Basically because it's such a good thing. So I'm going to show you how to use it now. When you first turn the machine on in the morning, this is set up to fail safe. Because it's wireless, after a certain amount of time it turns itself off. Or on the morning when you first turn it on, obviously it's off. And what you will find on the screen, that probe active light will be on. If you will try to push the initial 0, you will get a message. And it says probe input is currently active, please check connections and try again. What that message is telling you, there's a problem. Now, let me just click on that. Now, usually the problem is the batteries have gone flat in this. Very rarely do they go wrong, so if there is a problem it'll be flat batteries. But basically what you do, when it's on the first thing in the morning, you just click the unit and the light will go off and it's ready to go now. So now what you're going to do is you're going to put this unit underneath your tool. You put it underneath your tool there, you come back and you push initial 0. And what basically what it's going to do is going to go down, measure the tool height and put you the offset in there. And that offset is the distance from your work material. So from your material to the top of the tool light setter there. So it's the distance from that surface to that surface. And it's always going to be a negative number because this is lower than this. So whatever the height is, and obviously it's going to change as your tool length changes. So we'll do the thing and I'll show you what I mean. So now we click initial 0. And what happens is the tool starts going down. It goes slow because it doesn't know the length of your tool. It also gives you plenty of time to put this underneath it. So you just hold it underneath and let it click. When it's finished, it will move the spindle and park it over the top of the plate. You will have a message on the screen that says move probe to fixed location, then press OK. So what you do now is you move this and you put it in the holder. Now it will only go one way. It's got some notches on the front and a slot in the holder. So you stick it in there and you leave it there. From this point on, that stays in there. You come back, you push OK. It will now go down and measure the tool. And basically, like I say, what it's doing, it's finding the height difference from there to there. Again, it goes slow because obviously it doesn't know your tool and we don't want to crash it. So we deliberately set it to move slow. And then when it touches the first time, on the second time it touches slowly for accuracy. And that's it. So you set the initial 0. So what you would do now, you would start your job. So you push cycle start, and what it will do, if you look there, we're on tool 2. Now if the first tool in your job is tool 2, it will just start the spindle and carry on with the job. If it wasn't, if it was tool 1, it will do the process again. So for instance, like now, I will type M6 T1. M6 T1. What will happen is the spindle will come to the front of the machine and ask me to change the tool. So it's parked up there and you go a message that says replace tool in spindle with tool number 1. It tells you the number that you need. And when finished, click OK to continue. So what you do now is you change your tool, put your tool in it, then click OK. And it will then go off and measure the new tool. After it's finished measuring this tool, it will go back to your work 0, start the spindle and then carry on cutting the job. Obviously I've no code loaded up in this, so it's not going to do that. It is going to go to work 0 and start the spindle, because it thinks there's a job to be cut. And it starts to spindle, and then obviously it would move on and cut your job. When it gets to the next tool in your job, so for instance, if I type in there M6 tool 2, so tool 2 is your next tool, again it will come to the front, ask you to replace the tool, you replace the tool, push OK, and it'll go measure the tool. And it will do that for every tool in your job. The purpose of it is to take any error out of the process, because the most common form of error is people forgetting to set the null work 0 when they change a tool. Now that can be good or bad. At best you'll just be too high and you won't cut anything, but more often than not you've done it the wrong way around, your tool's too long and it smashes into the work bed or whatever. So that's what the wireless tool light setter is. Like I say, it's a very handy thing to have on the machine. So right, thank you.